Sherry Jacobs.
Here.
Sherry. And Bob Nadelberg is excused because he's flying a plane tonight. Tim, do we have content that we're going to share on the CDBG?
Yeah, so I don't think Jess is on. Jess.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, hi, Jess. Yay. Okay,
Tim.
so Jess is here. So Jess is going to mayor. So Jess will be our point of contact for Mountain Land, and she is the one kind of helping us do this whole thing. So if we have any direct questions, let's have them go to Jess because she'll be able to answer them for us.
Okay.
Correct,
Well,
correct, Jess?
That's correct. Do you guys need a brief overview? Because I know you guys haven't been to the workshop, but Tim has.
Yeah, that would be great if you would give the participants and the council an overview so we know what's being talked about here.
Okay, so the Community Development Block Grant is a federal program. The state of Utah receives about $5.5 million to distribute to their 7 AOGs. These projects are to benefit primarily low to moderate income persons. So in the past, most of the stuff we've done has been water and sewer projects in low and moderate income communities. We've also done some ADA accessibility work, as well as projects that benefit seniors because they are presumed LMI population. A part of the requirement is to attend the How to Apply workshop in October, which Tim did, and complete an application for any projects that you guys would like to complete by January 30th.
So, Tim, and I guess you've been working on this with Jess. So help me understand how Hideout actually qualifies. Is that because of the affordable community?
Yeah, so it's based off of census data, as well as depending on the type of project, we can determine if you guys need to do a low to moderate income survey of the community. If you're doing like sidewalks or ADA accessible things, as they are presumed population, disabled adults, you wouldn't have to complete that survey. But I'm working with Tim to make sure that we have all the T's crossed and the I's dotted in order to get that done. But it is based on census data or an LMI survey conducted within the community.
And Mayor, to clarify a little bit more, I've been in touch with Jess from the beginning on this. And so a couple of projects that we have in mind, we do qualify for example, possibly some monies going towards some of our water improvements, some of our sewer improvements, and then also possibility of looking at some sort of crossing over 248 to combine both sides of town. And that's something that Jan and myself has approached Jess with, and we've kind of ran some ideas by her, and from what we're finding out, we look like we're going to be okay and possibly do not have to do the survey based on what type of project we choose and move forward with.
And for this public hearing, mostly we're just providing other people besides me and Tim an opportunity to talk about projects that they would like the council to consider either this year or going forward. And then if the projects that are applied for in January get funded, there'll be a second public hearing to go into more details about the projects that Tim was discussing.
Got it. Okay, so first questions from council. Thoughts around what you've heard, any clarifications you need, or any thoughts you want to put on the table around other things to think about that might qualify.
Hey, this is Chris. I guess I'll go first since I got off mute first. First of all, I want to say thank you. Thank you, Jess and Tim, for working on this. The idea, all the ideas that you put forward, Tim, sound fantastic to me. And of course, near and dear to my heart is getting humans across 248 safely from one part of town to the other. So my question I have is regarding the application process, how well defined do the projects need to be in order for the application to be able to be submitted?
Pretty well defined. They want to know like specifically what streets you're talking about. If you're doing a street project or a water project, they want you to have that kind of figured out. They want estimates, but not bids on exactly how much stuff would cost. Just a vague idea so that we know that you are asking for an appropriate amount. And the applications tend to get fleshed out a bit more in that in January when I'm working with Tim and the other applicants to make sure that they meet the state qualifications. And then there's going to be like an environmental review, which will go much deeper down into what's going on in that specific project, as well as that subrecipient agreement if funds are awarded. So it gets kind of narrowed in at each step of the process.
And just, and for council, this is the first step of many that we have coming. And so we do have some great projects in mind and some that mayor has tasked me with to look into. And so right now, those are the three that we have talked about with Jess, water, some of our sewer issues, and then the crossing to connect, maybe one side of the community that might be low income disadvantaged to the other side with some sort of crossing. So we're definitely open to other thoughts and suggestions, but those are the three that kind of mayor had tasked me to kind of see what we could do to find some money. And this is what we've come up with. And Jess has been awesome to work with. So hopefully that gives you a little bit more information.
Hey, and Tim and Jess, this is Ralph. Just a quick question on is there a threshold on the amount that we can go for? Is there a participatory, or does the town contribute if it's over a certain amount? How does that work?
So based on the scoring, if you guys provide any level of matching funds, and Tim has a copy of our scoring, the more you contribute based on a percentage of what the project's total cost would be, the higher your project would score. But at a minimum, the state doesn't like doing projects under 30,000. They just don't even consider those applications for the most part. And then most of the projects we funded in this region are maximum of 350,000. So kind of in that range. We have about 612,000 to use in Summit and Wasatch County.
Cool. And the 350, is that per each project, or the town?
That's
total?
for each project. That's just the highest we've ever awarded. But you are more than welcome to submit multiple applications for multiple projects.
Gotcha. Thank you. And thanks for doing this.
I have a question about whether or not something would be part of this. And that is, yesterday at the infrastructure meeting, we were talking about street lighting, not stoplights, but street lighting at the entrance to the two entrances into Hideout. If there's any possibility for street lighting, is that a possibility to be included?
Is that where you're wanting to do the accessible crosswalk, or is that at a different location?
It could be the crosswalk, possibly could be where we connect with the road that goes down to the Jordanelle. I think that's what we were talking about for a crosswalk, and we definitely need some street lighting there as well.
I mean, I think that would definitely contribute to that accessibility portion, particularly for infrastructure and street lighting. I know that there's some other state resources that are available. And I can work with Tim to identify a couple of those that might score better to get more lighting as well.
Okay, but it wouldn't be included in the major entrance into Hideout.
I don't
It
think so,
might-
unless
I
you
mean,
can tie it directly to that project.
Okay,
I think, Carol, it would be go under public safety more than the CDBG grants.
okay.
What
I mean, there's
about
grants for
park,
public safety as well, so.
what
I'm
about
sorry,
like,
Jessica, I mean,
whoops.
go ahead.
What about parks and trails? Would that come under this?
Yeah, I mean, there's funding for parks and trails. You can use it for CDBG. It depends on what you want to do with the parks and the trails. So if you want to buy land and build a park that benefits low to moderate income people in your community, like if it's next to like a low income housing complex or something, or we can prove that it's benefiting LMI persons, I can build you that park, but I can't maintain it with my funds.
Okay.
Any other questions from council before we open it for other public input? All right, then I'd like to open it and based on what you've heard tonight, if you've got any questions or ideas for the municipality to consider as projects that would meet the qualifications described, public is welcome to raise your hand, your Zoom hand, and we will let you share your thoughts. So, and for those of you not familiar, there is on your Zoom screen, there's a little taskbar, and there's a place there for you to select raise your hand. At the moment, I'm not seeing any. Okay, and I'm going to close public input. Thank Jess and Tim for their help on this. We have, 45 days roughly to finish up. If anything comes to mind between now and then, by all means, get those to Tim. Otherwise, we'll let him flesh these out and see if we can't get them submitted. With that, I need a motion to close the public hearing on community development block grant and close the meeting. Because as I mentioned earlier, we have to have a separate session for this versus the other items on our agenda tonight.
Hey, Mayor, this is Ralph. And one last thought, is this on our website at all? So that we make it public for the next, couple of weeks, people want to jump in and perhaps have an idea, they could share it with us.
Well, that was the purpose of the public hearing tonight, Ralph.
Doesn't look like a lot of people have attended though, so.
You guys actually have more people attending than most of my other applicants, so you're doing great.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
All right, Jess. Okay.
But yeah, Ralph, it's a good thought. We can put something up. Tim, if you'd work with Alicia, put a little paragraph together.
Hey, Mayor, we'll definitely do that. That's something easy to do. Jess, and that's allowed, correct?
Yeah, that's totally allowed. And if they have questions, they can talk to you, they can talk to me. I'm happy to explain the program some more if anybody is interested.
Okay, we'll get it up on the website. I'll talk with Alicia.
Thanks. Again, thank you all. And I'm looking again for a motion to close the public hearing, but a motion to adjourn this portion of the meeting and adjourn this meeting, and then we'll reopen a new meeting for the rest of the town council activities.
I so move.
Thank you, Carol. Was that Carol or Sherry?
Yeah, it was Carol.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll second
Need a
it.
second? Thank you, Ralph. All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
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 Thank you. Okay, thank you all. I'm gonna close this meeting, or actually Alicia's probably gonna close this meeting and then we'll reconnect. Okay?